you, I know really today, really what Fall Street was like for our church, for those of you who helped buy cakes and went to that pie auction and did all that stuff like that, and went to, and contributed and put meals in and done the different things like we've done, is for you to hear from the campers. And any of the sponsors that feel like they would want to be able to speak and say something. Because that's where, I'm telling you, you need to know where your money's going. You need to know how it's affecting people and how the impact that it is making. And so right now, do we have children in your children's church?
We were going to stay and watch the Falls Creek service today.
You understand, watch it. Or y'all, I mean, they're dealing with me. If they're
Hey,
dealing
let me
with
know if you need to do otherwise, though.
Yeah. All right. So anyhow, so as we get ready to go on and move on here, it's this. I talked to all these students here. I talked to different sponsors of students, and I've asked them to be able to speak. So what we're going to do, I'm going to start from the back and work our way to the front. I didn't get to talk to you specifically. Are you willing to speak? Are you sure? Drag her up here. Drag her up. All right. And then coming on forward. Y'all, right here. Are you good? Did you speak? You want to say what to you? I know you're fine. Yeah. All right, come on up. You, Brody, and everybody on that row, come up here. I was just waiting for the first one. That's the roll starting. Okay, now here's the deal. Christy, what's one of the questions that we ask?
Best thing,
Best thing?
like two of the best things,
Two best things?
one worst thing, and then God speak to you.
And one worst thing, and then how God might have spoke to you, okay? And if y'all don't mind, please speak into this and pass it to the next one. Hold it up there close like you're fixing to sing, serenade some young lady.
The best thing I seen in Fall Street was a lot of people got saved. A lot of people were worshiping Jesus. And, I just thought that was cool. And I really didn't notice anything bad that happened.
Best thing, worst thing, and how God may have spoke to you.
No, as many as you want.
As many as you want. If there's more than two, you can say it's rattle them out.
I don't really have two best things. I have one good thing, and that was like our whole church getting into the spirit of Fall Street.
Can't hear.
We can't hardly hear.
There's
Turn that mic up school, will you? That's
hello, Spencer.
okay. All right, now you got mine. Look down.
Did anybody hear what I just said?
No.
I said our whole church participated. It was everyone wanted to participate in all of the events and stuff that we did as a whole, and people didn't get left out. The worst thing for me was probably the heat. It was so hot at Falls Creek this year.
Yeah. How God may have spoken.
I really don't have anything for that.
All right. That's all right. Yeah, you know you do. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'd say the best thing was that the whole church.
Hold it to your mouth.
I'd say the best thing was our church and then all the other churches coming to one place to worship. And that I felt like no one got left out because everyone got to see the worst thing? Well, I said showers, but they were so tiny. They were about right up here to me, shower heads. And it was just the worst thing ever. And I think the one thing that God spoke to me about was the gospel comes to you in different ways. One size doesn't fit all. So that you just have to find the best way that works for you and then just expand upon it.
He doesn't need the mic. It's okay.
The best thing at Fall Street was when we went to Little Niagara and we watched snow and did baptized. The worst thing was probably the bunk beds. Those things were so uncomfortable. I could not sleep. And how God spoke through me is worshiping down here.
All right. Awesome. All those good answers. Next row. Jackson, you guys. Seth, all you guys come on down. hold this microphone right there next to you. Now, tell
Your name.
tell me your name if you don't mind.
My name is Dylan Harris, and I've been going to Addington for about 2 years now, and I went to Falls Creek. And the best thing, honestly, was the food, going out, food, and Josh helped me out with the food was amazing. And another thing was on the tab, waking up. But the worst thing is having to wake up so early, and the heat, and the walking around, killing my legs. And the way God spoke to me was through Weekend, Grayson, and Jackson, because they helped me get on the right path for God, and I'm just wanted to thank them a lot for that. My name's Gordon. I've been going to Addington for about 3
Hold it up to your mouth. Hold up to your mouth.
There are a couple of good things where, like Dylan said, the food, Julia, Josh, and Henry, they were really good. Another good thing was just being able to lean on someone if you felt like you were struggling right there. And always having someone to turn to, and just like feeling down. One of the worst things was during blood chunks, that plate of a bunch of gross stuff and pick your face through that was disgusting. How God spoke to me was just through the worship music up there at the time. It felt like it really moved me. It was just really awesome.
My name is Sonny. I've been going to Addington for over 3 years. Some of the best things I think were how close our youth group got and really going across together. I also really enjoyed the worship music every night at Tabernacle. The worst thing I'd have to agree with Brody was the heat. I get really hot really easy, so and God spoke to me. Our theme was giving them blow chunks, and it talks about being blue boys. And I feel like that fit me. I just feel like he's calling me to give everything. Just surrender.
My name is Kel. I've been going to Addington for a little over a year now. And I think the best thing about Falls Creek was how close I really felt to everyone. Like, it was a really good bonding experience. The worst thing was definitely the showers. I have to agree with Cash on that. The showers were terrible. I hated all of them. Like, every one of the shower heads was different, and they all sucked. How God spoke to me was, I think, through Bubba. Wednesday night, Bubba gave a really good message that really stuck with me. And definitely through the worship, it was very powerful, and I think it really moved everyone.
My name is Jackson. I've been going to Addington for, I would say, 5 years now? 5, 6 years now? The best thing for the week was probably just the group that we had. Their vulnerability and the way that they were just open and not scared to be honest with themselves was very cool to me, and it opened up my eyes to honestly just being honest around people that you may not know. And so that was pretty cool to me. The worst thing was during blow chunks. We had a game called Baloney Toss. And my gosh, that game sucks. Just watching it is disgusting. So the object is you have a partner, and you throw a piece of bologna to each other. And if you drop it, you have to eat it off your ring. And where we were playing, there was dirt, mud. It was disgusting. And I almost threw up. And I'm pretty sure Randy has a picture of me just bending over and throwing up.
It happened.
It was disgusting.
Got your best side.
Huh?
Got your best side.
How God spoke to me was honestly through one of the morning services. I think it was the last night, the Friday morning. He was talking about what a servant is, and a servant is someone who's always available. And I told my small group that that's my goal this year, is to always be available to them. If they ever need to lean on somebody, that they can always reach out to me. That I'll put whatever I'm doing aside and focus on them, because the Bible says to put others first. And so that's how God spoke to me this week.
right, all right. Front row. Front row. Come on, Zach. Zach can speak and say what you enjoyed the most. Yeah, you got to use this so I can hear you. All right, you guys head on this way. Hold it there. Sure.
No fires.
Yeah, you got something else?
I'll call the number 2 sister down.
All right. Good job, Zach. So Zach got to go, and I'm coming. The kids, after Zach left, they said, "Where did Zach go? Why is he not here?" And I said, "Well, his mom was leaving back home, and he was needing to get back to the house and take care of his goats. He's proud grandpa or daddy with some goats, and he's got to take care of his goats." But let me tell you, our kids, all of them, from the youngest to the oldest, just took him in, and he just took them in. They took him to the ISA stand and helped make sure that he got to go where he wanted to go. And so we got a phenomenal group of kids spending down there. Okay, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Deacon Clark, and my dad's the pastor, so as long as he's making right. But, my favorite thing about this week was the worship, because usually I feel like people who come and sing at Falls Creek are doing too much, but this year I think they did just the right amount. And I guess it's personal preference, but I really felt like the music was exceptional this year compared to every other year I've been. And I was also able to connect with more. But the worst thing was not that I had an appendectomy or whatever. It's that I lost the set of the hearing chest. That's my least favorite part of this. And how God spoke to me was less a specific thing and more a general comfort. Usually, I'm always, and this goes into the worship thing, I'm always worried about something or another. I'm worried that I'm not actually saved or something like that. But this year I really felt like God has already done all the work. And all I need to do is relish in the gift He's given me and try and figure out how I can serve Him.
Good job.
Hi, my name is Grayson. I'm David's son, so likewise, as long as he's been here, I've been here. But the best thing I would say was I got to grow in ways with my friends that I never would have expected. And I can't really describe it, but my relationship with my group of friends grew exponentially, not just like in a relationship in, oh, we're good friends, but as spiritually as men, it grew, and that was truly a blessing to see throughout the course of the week. The worst thing was going to Little Niagara, not swimming, then seeing everybody swim, and then begging and convincing my dad to take me to Walmart, triple bag, duct tape, and trash bag my cast, still getting the cast wet, and now it's smelling horrible. Would do it again, though, in all honesty. But the way that the Lord spoke to me throughout the week, so He had put on my heart within the last few months that I wanted to teach in some form or fashion. Didn't know what it was, still really don't. I have an idea, but He helped reaffirm that desire in my heart, because He gave me opportunity after opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, whether it be giving a devotion in the morning or staying up till 3 a.m. every single night answering questions to some of the younger guys or discussing biblical topics. That was a tremendous blessing that if you had told me that 6 months ago, I would I had no interest in doing that. But the Lord put a desire and helped affirm and strengthen that, and that was such a tremendous blessing throughout the week.
My name's Franklin. I've been going here for about 4 years-ish. The best thing, there was a lot of good things that happened this week. I'm going to narrow it down to like 3. The speaker, first of all, was phenomenal. His story, his words were just insane. The food was really good. And then just watching our youth as a whole grow was just phenomenal. The worst thing was definitely the heat. It's hot, very miserable. I'm glad it didn't rain, but it's very miserable. Oh, that one morning. I mean, I'm not counting that as like a whole week. But
And it just
how God worked or how God used me was this week. We talked a lot about, or last week we talked a lot about selfless, and so He taught me how to be less selfish and just focus on more about what people need rather than what I need.
I already asked you to sit and speak. Come on. Okay. And Guy, if you'd like to come up, Jess, if you want to come up, Ainsley, you can. You two, Randy and Josh, we all speak. Christy, I'm not going to leave you out. You want to, Joy, y'all, and Spencer too. Yeah.
So my name is Kenan. I've been doing here about 4 years, about the same as Bubba. The best thing this week is definitely listening to the music and watching the other sing. Watching all the people interact with each other. It's just amazing. Everybody pretty much is friends with each other, I guess. The worst thing was definitely seeing Carson eat half of the cookie, like Oreo, out of my foot. Yeah, just put my foot onto it. Was part of the originals. I think how that spoke to me was really amazing.
Good job.
My name is Phoenix, and I'll be going as long as Bubba has. And the best bit was Tabernacle, and he's getting to make a lot of new friends. And the worst bit was the best, and Yo Chunks. And God spoke to me by saying, no matter what I do and what I have done, if I accept Him into my heart, I'm going to heaven. My name is Lisa Barrington. My favorite part about Falls Creek was walking around with Phoenix to go to the ASC stand. And then the worst part about it has got to be the beds and everybody yelling that night. Hearing worship and the songs.
Good job. Come on down.
David Seekers. First, I'd like to thank God for giving us an amazing opportunity this week. What a blessing it's been to watch these youth grow, grow in relationships with the church members and David. Even though there's a towel issue we got to talk about later on. One of the things that really stood out to me was watching our youth grow into leaders, watching our youth serve the Lord. Friday was especially great for me. It was hard, not much required, but Friday I had to leave early and cut my week just one day short, and it hit me hard. But Friday at Tabernacle, watching my son pray with members of our group, watching my daughter have her hands in the air praising Jesus, that was the toughest part for me, was to keep it together. But it's been, it was an amazing week. One of the greatest things was getting to know Damon. Damon was in my small group, and what a blessing that was to be able to, I don't know that I necessarily led it. I just kind of hung out and ran my mouth a lot. But I'd like to thank the church for giving us your prayers, giving us your donations, coming down on Wednesday and praying with us and hanging out with us. it was a blessing all week long.
Thank you.
I'm Randy, I'm Josh's wife. I just wanted to say the best part of this week was this youth group. They were, from day one, open, honest, vulnerable. There wasn't that like surface, superficial level. And I appreciate Damon for working really hard to engage all of these kids so they felt comfortable. The crazy games, the crazy ideas, the crazy things that David did to bond with these kids, some more than others. But really encourage them to open up and just speak their truth, speak their hearts, and be ready to accept God's truth for them. I work with a PTA, a physical therapy assistant, and her husband works at Duncan, and they're from Missouri, and they have never seen anything like our youth group, our youth leaders, or Falls Creek. And so they were able to come down on Friday, and they were blown away by the entire experience, and they just kept saying, this happens every night, y'all come every year, and I just feel like this is just part of our worship and part of our ministry to our youth, and we take it for granted. And we should just be so much more grateful and thankful for that. I am thankful to all of you for your support in every way for us to be able to go to Falls Creek and to learn and grow with these kids. And I am grateful for David and Casey and Christy and Bubba and the Billingsleys, because they have encouraged my kids in ways that mean so much to me. And we did get to watch them step up and be leaders with their peers and be bold in their faith, and I'm so grateful for that.
Can y'all hear me? Is this closer? Okay. I'm Chesney. I'm their daughter, and I'm Brody's sister. I don't really have so I'm gonna go back to the two best things. My first best thing would probably be just connecting with everybody. I tend to kind of isolate myself, and as I'm maturing, just in general and in my faith, I realized that that's not a good thing to do at all. And connection with other people is just really important in general. And my second best thing would probably be worship and evening service. And piggybacking off of what somebody else said, our speaker was absolutely phenomenal. His name was Daniel Ritchie, so look him up. My worst thing, I'm not going to say what my worst thing was.
I'm right there with you, sister.
I have a deeper relationship with David and Alton, for better or for worse, I don't know. But that was definitely my worst thing. And a way that God spoke to me again was he, like Grayson said, he gave me so many opportunities to connect with so many people this week, and I want to thank God for making that happen, but I also want to thank this whole youth group, and especially you guys that made it possible for us.
Chesney, we forgive, but we haven't forgotten.
Well, y'all know who I am. I've been coming here for a long time. Let's just say that. There's a lot of good things happening over there. You guys are investing in a great bunch of kids. It wasn't that hot. The sleeping situation was phenomenal. Some of the showers, they have